Hi everyone, greetings from People's HR. This is Nuan Alvis. Today I am going to show you how to create multiple pay groups in People's HR Payroll. So let's assume there's a customer who is having multi-country payrolls. So multi-country payroll means, let's say they have 5 companies. One is in Sri Lanka, 3 companies in India, and 1 company in Pakistan. So they have company-wise payroll. Let's say Sri Lanka, 1 company, they have 1 payroll. India, they have separate 3 companies. So for those 3 companies, they used to process payroll separately, 3 payrolls. And Pakistan, they have 1 payroll. Altogether, they have 5 payrolls. Okay, so for this kind of scenario, what you can do is, first you need to identify the administrator who is having access for all these 5 payrolls, right? First you need to identify that person. Okay, so first you need to create basically you need to create the administrator user account first. So then you have to log into the payroll using administrator, and you have to create all these 5 payrolls through the administrator. So after that, what you can do is you can create the payroll users who run the payrolls separately. Okay, keep that in mind. First you need to, for this kind of scenario, first you need to create the administrator user account. Through that employee you have to log into the payroll and create all these 5 payrolls, and then after that you have to assign particular user who process the payroll. Okay, so there will be 5 users. Maybe in India, they have 3 companies, 2 payrolls are processed by 1 user, and 1 single payroll is used by a 1 separate user. So likewise you can create any scenario through this. Okay, let me log into the security module first. So right now actually this customer is having 2 payrolls, two security groups, not the payroll, 2 security groups. So I'm going to create another 5 security groups. So basically if you have multi-country, multi-payrolls, you need to have different pay groups for each payroll. If you have 3 payrolls, you should have 3 groups. If you have 5 payrolls, you need to have 5 groups. Okay, first you need to identify the filters you want to create. Okay, for this scenario I'm just taking the company level. So they have let's assume they have 5 companies. So this is the base filtration you are getting with the standard product. So this is the group level filtration. So for this scenario you need the company level filtration because you have company wise payroll. For that I am going to create a 1 view. Okay, so this is the company hierarchy table. So if you select using def level 2 means company level, def level 1 is group level. So I will create this view first. Okay, I'll move to the security module. So in the security module, once you create any new object, you need to add it to the security module. Then only it will affect to the security process. You need to go to the systems, settings, okay, now you can see the new object in the left hand side. Whatever the new objects you created, it will come here in the left hand side. You need to put it to the right hand side, then only it will affect to the database. Whatever the new object you create, you have to add it to the security module. So it got saved. Now you can go to the data filters. So I'm going to create a new data filter using the new view you created. Okay, let's create the company filter. So basically this filter will be coming with the standard setup. So this filter for the group level filtration. So for that, for this scenario, you need to create a filter, company wise filter. For that, you have already created a view. So I'm going to create a new filter. Click new. Filter column is employee number because at hierarchy code level 2. So company level is level 2. So here you have to filter the view you created. Hierarchy level 2. So here you have to select the hierarchy code and then hierarchy name to show. And here you don't want to put the filtration because you already applied the filtration here. If you want, you can you can remove this where clause and you can put it there like this. Okay, alright, I'll remove this and I will save this. Okay, alright, it's saved. So then there's another important step you have to do. Keep this in mind. There are a couple of important points when you create these multiple payrolls. There are a couple of important points you have to keep it in mind, right? So once you create the company level filtration, so then again you have to edit it. Click this view filter disable table. Then let me explain this first. So this filtration, company filtration will apply all these tables. Okay, but there's one table you don't want to apply this security. So that is HSM use account table. For that you don't want to apply the security. Okay, because of that you need to put it to the right hand side and save it. Filter disable table. So basically what will happen is, so when you put it to the right hand side, so this filtration will not applicable for this table. Okay, understood. Save it. Done. Again save it. Now the company filtration is done. Now there is another very important thing you have to do. So there is another filter you have to create when you have multiple payrolls. Keep this in mind. If you have a single payroll, you don't want to create this filtration. Okay, so this payroll filter. HSPR profile. In that, pay group code, then DB group use ID. Here you can say DB group name, HSSM. Here you have to select HSSM DB group V5 table. In that, here you have to select DB group user ID and then DB group user name. So basically this table keeps all these security group schemas. You must be already know in this table all these security groups credentials you create. Let's say like SQL Server user ID, SQL Server password, group name, whatever the things you created is keeping in this table. Okay, and even you know like when you create the 8.5 app, there is a new thing called DAP, HBS DAP. So DAP also a separate schema which is keeping under this table. So we don't want DAP to select in the security groups. Because of that, I will remove DAP . Basically DAP will be the DB group, first DB group. You can see the default group is DAP. Default group is DAP. Okay, so default group 1 means that is DAP. So I don't want DAP to list down here. So because of that, I exclude DAP from this filtration. Okay, I will save this. Done. There is another one important thing. So after you save the payroll filter, there is another important step you have to do. Keep this in mind also. So just select that payroll filter and click edit. So the same way you done for the company filter, you just click view filter disable tables. So this step you have to do only if you have the multiple payrolls only. If you have a single payroll, you don't want to create this payroll filter, and you don't want to do this step. So here actually what you want to do is, there are only 4 tables you need to apply this filter. All the other tables you have to put it to the right hand side. Except for 4 tables, all the other tables you have to put it to the right hand side. What you can do is, first you just put everything to the right hand side and save it. Done. Okay, you can close and see. Now everything is in the right hand side. So that means, so this filtration will not applicable for any of the table. Now you have to put to the right hand side, there are 4 tables. Profile, page schedule, parameter value, parameter date, HSPR parameter date, HSPR parameter value, HSPR page schedule, HSPR profile. So those 4 tables has to be in the left hand side. Every other table has to go to the right hand side. Keep this in mind, and if you create a new table, you have to put it to the right hand side. Done. You can again click and see whether the settings are applicable. Yes, done. Now the filtration is done. Now what you want to do is, you need to create a rule based on the company to filter the companies, and based on the payroll filter. Sorry. So basically now you are going to create a filter. Now you are going to create a role based on the 2 filters you created. Click new. So here you have profile. So that is for the DB group. Add it. Then again you have to create HSH. In under HSHR employee, there are 2 filters you created. You need company. Now for this payroll filtration, you are going to use 2 filters. One is payroll profile filter, and the other one is company based employee filtration. Okay. Done. Now you can create the security groups. Before that, you need to create a capability group. Just see whether you created a payroll capability. So actually in this instance, we already created a capability for the payroll. In the payroll, you have web payroll, all the menu access, and also in HRM Enterprise, EIM master, because other fields, other menus you don't want, and then loans, then report navigator, then tax declaration. So those are the important menus you want for the payroll. Okay, let me create the security groups. Now you need to create 5 security groups for 5 payrolls. First, I will click new. Let me see the companies they have. I'll use this HTL logistics. So then go to the capabilities, payroll admin. So then grant permission. You have created payroll filtration. Keep this in mind. First you need to select the company, logistic, right? So then go to the DB group information. So when you create the multiple pay groups, you need to select the same DB group name here, but right now you don't have HTL logistic DB group here because you're just creating that DB group. What you want to do is just select anyone and save it. Company you already selected. Here you can select anyone. Initially you can select anyone, save it. Okay, it's done. Again click HTL logistic and edit it. Go to the grant permission. Now you have HTL logistic. Tick off this earlier one and tick the right one and save it. Have you understood? Okay, let me create the second one. First I will select the company, then I'll select whatever, save it. Then again click this, edit it, go to this, tick off these, tick this, save it. Alright, I will select this. First you have to select the company, then go to this and select whatever you want and save it. Go here, tick off these and edit logistics, save it. So now you already created three security groups for 3 payrolls. So I'm not going to create the other 2 payrolls. So So now I already done 3 payrolls. Okay, so let's say I'm going to create a one administrator for all these 3 payroll. So then after that I am going to assign 3 payroll users to the payrolls using the administrator. Okay, so once you've done the security group creation, you need to do a security process. So then only it will create the security groups. So here you don't want to do one by one. Earlier security version you have to create one by one security groups. Here you can create all the security groups at once. So then after that you can go to system process. Go to the update data access point. Update it. So it will take couple of minutes, 1 or 2 minutes maximum. So then this process will create all the security groups what you created right now. If you do some changes also, you need to come here and process. Started, it's going. You can see first it's creating the filters based on the tables. Just now it's completed. Okay, now you have created all these 3 security groups. Now you need to identify the administrator for all these 3 payrolls. Okay, so go to the single user account. I'm going to create the administrator account. So this Tanuja will be the administrator for all these 3 payrolls. Now actually Tanuja's primary group is HTL superadmin. Her user account has created under the HTL superadmin, but now you are going to give the permission, secondary permission for the newly created 3 security groups. So this is how you do. So basically there are like couple of ways of giving the security. One is you can create the user under the security group. The other way is you can create that user in a different group and you can give the secondary permission. So this is how you are giving the secondary permission. Click edit, select the user account, click edit and custom capability. So here you have to give all the 3. You can see this is disabled because so this user has created under this group. Okay, you have selected all these 3 security groups and submit. So basically this user has permission to 4 security groups. The primary one is HTL superadmin and the other 3 new groups. Okay, done. Admin secret group has already created. Then you have to do another step. You have to identify the other user who is processing, other 3 users who is processing the payrolls. So I'll select one, Pramila. Pramila also created under HTL super admin group, but she is the one who processed HTL logistic. She has only access to HTL logistic. Save. Similarly, you can select another user and give the permission to the other security groups you created. You have already created 3 security groups. Let's say you have already given HTL logistic access to Pramila. Admin will be the Tanuja for all these 3 security groups. And let's say like FTN logistic, you can select another user and give the same permission. Like here you can, the way you select the Pramila, you can select another one and give the custom permission. Okay, or else you can create that user. Let's say like there is a user who is under FTN logistic, so you don't want to give the custom permission from here. You can create that user directly under FTN logistic company. Then you don't want to use this permission. I hope you understood. Okay, so let me log into the payroll module. So I will use the administrator. I'll directly go to the payroll module. I'm going to create the first pay group. HTL logistic. The group is HTL logistic 2017 monthly. So when you select the Sri Lanka payroll, you can put the currency as LKR. In Pakistan, you can put the currency different currency. HTL logistic, everything okay. Save. Now you have created the first security group. Then go to this and more details. Here you have to select HTL logistic and the tax period. Done. Now you can create the new done. This has to be 2. Done. Again here you have to select the FTN, so then you will see this. Click more. Similarly you have to select this. Finish. Done. Now again click new. Three. Again select this here, go here, more information, a logistic, so then tax details, finish. Now she has, if you go to the payroll, she has all the payroll access. Right? Now we are going to give, using user controls, you are going to give the permission to the other users for the payroll. This is the process. So here you have salary, right? So you are going to give the salary processing permission to this user. Okay. From here you are giving the permission to the payroll, and from here you are giving the payroll group permission. If she is processing FTL logistic only, you can give the permission here. If she is processing another payroll, you can give the FTN also. So I'll show you. I'll log out from this user. She has only the HTL logistic access. Similarly, you can give the other users separately. I hope you understood the steps. And if you want to restrict the menus also in the payroll, administrator should be able to do that. I'll show you that also. Let's say this Pramila only needs to have the access to the processing part, operational. So you can control that also. This is Tanuja, she's the administrator. So using these, so if you want to give the user wise permission, let's say like this user should be able to only process not the admin functionality. So then you should create a separate capability group, right? So that user has to create under that capability group. Let's say like in the payroll admin permission you need to disable. So then you can disable here. User part only you need to enable. So then you have to create that, and when you are creating HTL logistic you can select those capabilities. Let's say a logistic, when you are giving the grant permission you can give that capability also from here. So then when you are assigning that user from here using custom capability, so under that group, so two capabilities will show. You need to select the right capability, so then she will have only access to the operational area. I hope you understood all the scenarios. First, for this kind of scenario you need to identify the administrator. So through the administrator you have to create all these pay groups. So then you have to select the individual users who process the salaries, separate payrolls. So you have to assign those users to the security groups using custom capabilities, right? So then again so when you create the filters you need to keep couple of important points in your mind, especially filter disable. What are the tables you need to disable, what are the tables you need to enable, that you need to keep in mind. So, and also finally, like if you don't have a multiple payroll, you don't want to create this filter, you can directly create one security group and assign all the employees to that particular payroll. I hope you understood the multiple pay groups creation.